My husband and I and our three small children moved to Santa Barbara in the late 60s. We found a place to live in the parsonage next door to the big Unitarian church. We loved it there because there was a co-op nursery school in the back of our backyard where Thalia, my youngest, was going, and I was part of co-op nursery education with Sarah Foote. One night, there was a knock on the door. A very dark-haired, short man had a piece of paper, and he said, "We want to build 2 9-story condominiums in that burned-out place across the street from the church. What do you think of that? And we're going to put 2 very rich people on the top floor." We were shocked. We were only in Santa Barbara a few years at that time, and we did not like the idea of 2 9-story condominiums around the corner from us. Although we were renters, we liked the way Santa Barbara looked. There was a little old lady next door who taught ballet, and we asked her, what should we do? Because she also did not like the idea. She said, "Oh, go find Pearl Chase. She'll help you." We went and found Pearl Chase and told her this story. She was furious. She even came to our house with a friend, sat in our rocking chair, that rocking chair I had bought at a thrift shop in Boston, and told me, "What can we do? They're breaking all the rules. Those condos should never, never be that tall. That's terrible. What an idea." Well, we had gone to the Planning Commission and they said, "Absolutely not. This is breaking all the rules. Let's go to City Council." The council liked the idea. They thought it would bring lots of business to the downtown, having rich people living in these condos. After all, Thomas Stork wanted to live on the top floor, and Louis Lancaster, who owned the biggest bank in town, he wanted the other top floor. They were the only ones who could see the mountains, because they were going to be blocked from everybody in the neighborhood. We went to City Council with Pearl, and as we walked in the front door of the council chambers, it was packed with people against this whole idea. There was a really strange quiet fell over the whole room because Pearl was a powerful woman. It was the first time I realized how powerful she was. She really didn't even have to speak, and people just looked at her and were in awe of her. It turned out, in spite of the fact that Pearl was against it, the council was for it. What to do? Pearl realized we had to have some kind of a ruling from a judge. And we would gather lots and lots of names on a petition and try to raise the money to pay a lawyer. We raised $30,000, small contributions. It was amazing. That money came in dribs and drabs, $5 here, $10 there, but enough to pay John Sink to go to an attorney. He was the attorney to go to find a judge. The judge came from out of town, and he found it was against the rules. You could not build 2 9-story condominiums in that space. There were rules and regulations. You had to stick by them. Well, what was going to happen to that space? The developers left town, disgusted. They sold it to the art museum. The art museum sold it to somebody else. It went back and forth, back and forth. But Pearl Chase knew a woman named Alice Keck Park. And together, they made a memorial garden. That's what we have today. Thank you, Pearl. Thank you, Alice Keck Park. And thank you also to those people who contributed to pay the lawyer, to bring the judge, and to sign the petitions. You can beat anybody if you don't like what they're doing. I love that park. I'm not a botanist, but I just love it, especially in the spring. It's beautiful. And I told my granddaughter about it, a little short story. I told Poppy, who is 11, the story because we spent Mother's Day there, last Mother's Day, last May. And I think she kind of understood because she lives in Los Angeles where there are a lot of high rises and it's part of her life. But when she comes to Santa Barbara, it's so different here. I think she understood the story. And I love Alice Keck Park. I no longer live next door to the Unitarian Church, but I pass that house all the time and remember the battle. Yeah. My daughter went to college at UC San Diego and lived in La Jolla when it was low rise. It was so charming. Well, it took her 5 years to get through there. It changed. They let one high rise in, and then all the developers came in, and it was all high rise. And suddenly La Jolla was different. Not suddenly. It happened so gradually that people didn't realize it. We went to her graduation and just got out of the car to walk around the old downtown. There was no old downtown anymore. It was gone. And that's what would have happened to Santa Barbara. You let one high rise or 2 high rises in, and you're going to let in, that will open the whole shebang. Santa Barbara will no longer be the charming, charming, beautiful town that it is now. To tell you the truth, she loved my husband. My husband was gorgeous, a very handsome man with a British accent. And I was kind of on the side watching her. She dressed perfectly. Her hair was very white. We knew her when she was quite elderly. Um, but I was kind of in awe of such a powerful woman, and wondered until many years later what made her the way she was.